we got sent some of the Apex colours from Eternal. I'm obviously eager to try them out, but I thought I would, rather than, do what I normally do is open it all up, test it out, thought I would do like a first impressions. This is the ink. Like this one is the Apex Runic Red. Just like first glance at the bottles, the colours look quite bright. And looking at the ingredients list, obviously now with the REACH compliancy, they have to list everything on there. So looking at the ingredients list on the bottle, it literally just says distilled water, and then it's got the list of the pigments that are on there. A lot more transparency on the bottles now, but I may as well just get started. All right, so there's the colours I mixed up. That is the blue concentrate, and the different ratios with white added to it. Got a bit of a purple tinge to it. The red looks really bright, and then I've added white into the red there. And then you've got the magenta, and we've got the orange. I've got a couple of different colour layouts. I've got one where I've mixed standard Eternal white, and I've got one where I've darkened it down with like the pitch black, just to see how they work well together. And you are literally going to get my first impression as to what this is going to be like. So my first time using it. You ready? It's easy to rinse out from the needles as well. It's just good. So if I want to clean the needles, like the viscosity of it is quite a thin pigment so far. But yeah, so I found some red in. Fucking not bad. That goes in really nice. So far. Okay. I'm going to crack on and do this tattoo now and talk about it later then. Alright, so here's what we got so far. Now, so the reds are quite nice to work with. The purples that I was mixing up, that's like the magenta mixed with like the blue and white, and I've got that with a dip of red in it. The problem I've got is we don't have blues, so that and that is the closest I can get to mixing up a blue, but it's very, very kind of muted blue, and it's a bit greeny as well. Everything is a bit purpley with the blues, and that's not Eternal's fault. That is obviously the European Union banning certain colours. The orange and yellow there, that is... They seemed okay to work with. They're a lot thinner than the reds, but they seem to go in okay. But we'll see what it's like when it's healed. Alright, so I've just finished tattooing using the Apex colours from Eternal, and I've got a mixed opinion on it. So first of all, I just want to say I think that Eternal have done a really good job coming up with these colours. The viscosity is fairly good. It's nice to work with. It's a little bit different to what I'm normally used to working with, because I'm used to using a bit of a thicker pigment, and because of that I found that they're probably better suited for using a shorter stroke machine rather than a longer stroke machine, just because the viscosity is a lot thinner. The reds and the blues, or like the purpley blues, they went in the skin really, really nice. Also, the magenta was a nice colour to work with, especially mixing that with other colours, and it went into the skin really nice. Now, the yellows and the oranges that I use so far, they're very thin, and I think that's where you would need a short stroke machine. If you're trying to put quite a thin viscosity colour or pigment into the skin, and you're using a long stroke machine, then you're going to have problems with overworking. So something like that, you're probably looking at a 3mm stroke machine maybe. As a first offering, these are okay. They obviously they're completely different to what we're all going to be used to, but they are I would say a very good substitute to what we can't have. However, obviously, and this goes down the roof for everyone, the blue, we don't have the blue. So I'm hoping that Eternal are going to come out with a blue, unless there's a suitable alternative, for which at the moment I haven't seen anybody have a suitable alternative. I think our colour palette is going to remain limited to a degree. We're not going to have the blues that we normally have. Like, I spent 45 minutes today trying to get a blue looking the way I wanted to look by mixing colours. I was trying loads of stuff. I had some of the other guys that work with me who were painters as well, and we were trying to do what we normally know will work to kind of tint the colour and to try and give it a different feel. Some of the colours were ending up looking like more pastel-y, more greeny, they were more purpley, but there's always that green or that purple kind of hue to the blue. There's no like definitive blue, and that sucks. And I hope that can happen and we can get some blue colours back. Otherwise, I'm just going to be doing black and grey and red tattoos for the rest of my career then. But so yeah, get your colour tattoos in while you can before they bring out the Reach colours in the UK. But hopefully by then they will be out. But on a positive note, like, well done to Eternal for making a good ink. Like, some of the other brands that I've used, they've not been good at all. They've been either too inconsistent. There's a whole load of different polymers and binders and stuff like that that's put into the inks. So for Eternal to come out with a product that is very similar to what they normally use or what they normally produce, which is just pigment and water, you know, you got to give her a bit of a clap for that. But yeah, interesting. All right then, so here we go. This is day 2, the day after I've done this tattoo. Now, as you can see, there is I don't think there's any redness or inflammation on the tattoo at all. The colours still look good. They look like they're in there. They've settled in fairly nice.